All right, guys, welcome back to Double A Outdoors. We're gonna do some spring planting here today, and we got everything ready. We got a tractor ready with a broadcaster, and we're gonna do something a little different this year. I normally plant iron and clay peas, but I want to do some food plot screening. So I'm gonna try a few different products this year. I'm gonna pull the camera around where you guys can see it. We got a Barricade. It's an Antler King product. We have switchgrass. I found this on Amazon. I can send you guys a link to it there on the video. I just found this at a local feed store. They actually had it half off because they ordered it late last year, so I ain't even sure what's gonna happen with it. But I got this switchgrass. I want to use that as a food plot screen as well, so we're gonna get it tested out to see what happens. This is the iron and clay peas that I'm using this year. You can see the label right there on that, and we're gonna give those a try for the food plot. And this is also what I'm gonna use for a food plot screen, red milo and a sorghum mixture. So we're gonna give that a try and see what happens. Doggone gnats out here this morning. But we're gonna give that a try, see what happens, and I'm gonna probably show y'all where I put them at, and then we're gonna do a progression video to see which one works best down here in the south. We in northwest Florida. It's kind of some sandy conditions out here, but we're gonna try to get all this planted before this big rain comes. We got a big front moving in. They talking like 8-10 inches of rain next 3-4 days, so we're gonna get all this cut in, and y'all stay tuned. All right, we got our spreader all loaded up. Some good looking beans right there. So we're gonna go out there and put them in the ground. Here we go. Got our food plot screen all loaded up. Got our seed in the back. We looking good. We're heading out to the food plots. We made it out here to the first food plot. We're gonna go ahead and get set up. We're not gonna put a screen around this food plot because this already got a good wood line. Loggers didn't tear this up too bad, but these doggone yellow flies out here, this must be the breeding ground of Florida for these things. They about to tow me off, so we ain't gonna stay in here too long. We're gonna keep this tractor moving. First food plot planted. It don't take just a minute with this spreader I got on here. It'll sling about, I think, probably about 50 feet, depending on what the height is. But we can go from one to the next. We're going to number 2 now, which is the pond food plot. And we're going to put a screen on that one. So I'm going to have to do some of it with the hand spreader. But we're going to put the sorghum and the switchgrass on this particular food plot. So we got a little bit of a tractor ride, but we'll be here in just a second. All right, we made it out here to the pond food plot. for obvious reasons here, we got us a nice pretty pond right here behind us. Old natural, I guess you call it a, I don't know, wet weather pond or something like that, I guess. But since the loggers come in here, all this now is wide open. So we're having trouble getting to our stand right here. We don't like to stand there because the sun sets on this side and it's kind of blinding. So we're gonna move it back over here to the other side of the pond where it originally was. The deer seem to like it a lot better over there anyway. But the problem is we can't get to our stand without being in the wide open. So we've made some changes here. If you notice where I disc, it's running a different direction. So what that is that gives me an idea of where I want to put my screen at. So we're going to put that screen all through right here, and then we'll be able to come down this road like we did on the tractor and shoot it back around the edge of the pond and get to the stand without disturbing anything on the food plot. Also, I've watched some videos about deer. They kind of like a barrier where they can see, so they can know what's going on. Well, as you can see where the loggers come through, it's wide open now. So we want to make a barrier right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come right on the edge right here, all the way pretty much to those live oaks over there. And I'm gonna make a screen right here with that sorghum, probably about 30 feet wide or something like that, I guess. And then on the other side over there, I'm gonna try the switchgrass and see what it does. But it takes a little bit longer for that switchgrass, I think, to come up. So we might not see no benefit for that for a couple of years. But I just want to put that switchgrass on the far side, and then we're gonna put that sorghum. I think it was sorghum red clover mix or something like that here. The dove, turkey, and quail and deer all really like the seed it puts off. That's what they claim on the bag anyway. So we're gonna try it out. And then we're going to put that other screen right here. So basically that should block this whole food plot in. But we're going to get these iron and clay planted in the middle, and then we're going to come back and put our screens up. And then hopefully in a month or so we'll be able to really see some good results with those screens and how it's all going to work. So let's get this in the ground. Like I said, we're still trying to beat our storm that's coming. It's already sprinkled just a little bit, but I really wanted to shoot this video. So here we go. All right, we're gonna swap over to the Antler King barricade. We're gonna put that right up front right here. We're gonna put that right up front. It's supposed to be the tallest of all of what I'm planning, so I don't know. We're gonna give it a try and see what happens. But it's kind of what it looks like, just some little bitty old seeds right there. I don't know how far they're supposed to go or how far apart you're supposed to plant them or anything like that, so I'm just going to sling it out there and see what happens. All right, now we're just going to plant our regular sorghum red clover mix all the way around the edge right here. Kind of keep them separated so we can tell which one grows better in this soil. I'm gonna start back here a little bit. All right, we're on the opposite side of the food plot over here. This is where I want to put that switchgrass at. You can see right here we got a real pretty view of the pond and everything. Different angle. That's where the tree stand is going to go back to over here, looking over the pond and the food plot. These big old live oaks right here, y'all know as well as I do, they drop some acorns. I got them skirting the food plot right here. I keep them bush hogged underneath there, so that helps bring the deer in. But right here is where we're going to put that switchgrass in, kind of give another barrier right here, because just beyond these couple little pine trees right here, you can see pretty good bit from where the loggers had a road right there. So we're going to get this switchgrass in. I'm going to use a little bit different seed spreader because it's a small seed, but I'm going to fill all this up with switchgrass and hopefully it'll come up like I want it to. So we'll have us a nice switchgrass barrier right here. I don't know if y'all can see that far, but those two live oaks, that second live oak right there is where the I stopped with the sorghum, and it runs all the way on that old wood line across right there. So we're hoping to get a real nice pretty screen right there. We're going to fill this in with iron and clay for the summer and the spring, and hopefully that'll help with some antler growth. They're about 21 to 23% protein. It depends on who you ask, and fertilize and soil conditions and all that jazz. But and then we'll have enough, we'll bush hog everything like we want. We'll leave our stalks up from our screens, and then I'll come back in, plant oats for the fall. I'm gonna put an automatic feeder right here under this big live oak. I've been throwing corn out, but I'm trying to keep as least amount of pressure as possible in here. So I got an automatic feeder with a solar panel I'm gonna put out there. I'll probably do another video on those. I've come up with a kind of unique idea on that, so I'm gonna share it with you guys. But there'll be an automatic feeder going there, and we're setting up everything to feed year round. So let me get this switchgrass out, and then we're gonna go to food plot number 3, which is the new food plot. And then we're gonna go to some other property that's adjacent to ours that we don't hunt, but they give us permission to plant on some old fields they have. So we're going to plant on those fields, and it'll help the neighbor hunter out, and it also help us out and give us more land to put these iron and clay on. So here we go. All right, we made it out here to the new food plot. It's a pretty good little distance from the other food plots. It's on the other side of the road there, and a little different piece of the lease. But man, am I excited about this food plot right here. This is where I shot that good buck last year. I had some real good bucks on camera, so I decided to open this up. We probably got an acre. I don't know, it might be an acre and a quarter, but we just gonna call it about an acre. So I'm gonna get this thing seeded with these iron and clay peas. You can see where I kind of just, when the loggers come in, and I just kind of shoved all that back with a dozer. But I'm gonna plant another screen right here, and I'm gonna plant another screen on the other side, and I'm gonna plant another screen on the back side. So the only thing that's gonna be open is this front right here. And then I'll probably, once it all comes up, cross our fingers, like I want it to. I'll probably cut a few access paths with the bush hog, kind of to funnel the deer where I want to funnel them at. But we're right on the edge of a pond, and this wood line all the way down here, I've bush hogged the trail all the way on the edge of that. So what I want to, hopefully what'll happen is the deer will come out and they're going to take the path of least resistance, and they'll start traveling that path that I just keep bush hogged, and then they'll come through this food plot right here. But I'm also going to take and put an automatic feeder. I ain't decided if I'm going to put it down here or if I'm going to put it under this big live oak right here. But like I said, that'll be in another video, and we'll get all those set up. So right now we're going to go ahead and get this seeded. We're going to get our screens in, and we're going to keep moving. So this is food plot number 3. Then I'm going to run back to the shop, and I'm going to fill up the hopper again, and we're going to go over to the neighbor's place, and we're going to get that put out over there. And then we're going to get it all dished in today. And hopefully this rain will start it germinating, and we'll have some real pretty food plots to show you guys here in the near future. All right, here we go. Food plot number 3.